stop 1,000 times. Only thing that matters is if you never give up. I'll probably try to stop 1,000 more. No matter what anybody, this is where it starts. Baby, where do we start? Baby, where do we start? Baby, where do we begin? Where do we begin? You've been breaking my heart.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Blood on the Razor Wire TV, where we bring it to you real and we bring it to you raw. Hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, definitely share the video. Make sure that you hit the notification button. Even if it don't work, it works once in a while, I promise. Anyway, if you haven't hit the subscribe button, go ahead and do that. We'll give you a chance. We'll give you a minute. Okay, now that you're subscribed, let's get busy. Tonight, man, I'm bringing on a dude that's got his own YouTube channel. I mention him all the time. He was a dude that helped me out in the beginning, showed me a couple things. He edited a couple of my videos for me. So we're bringing on chatting with STAXXX, Bill STAXXX. Bill, tell the people who you are, even though I introduced you already. Tell them where you're from, man, and talk a little bit about yourself, man.
What's up, man? I'm from Bristol, Connecticut. My name's Bill STAXXX, obviously. My real name's Bill Pasquarelli, but people call me Bill STAXXX. I interview mobsters and people that change their life and are going in a better direction. I used to be on the streets myself and, doing the wrong things. And I used to be in and out of prison for years and finally got my head out of my ass, as they would say.
Well, that's what's up, right? I see that you got your YouTube channel up there. You're trying to get that thing rocking. You spent some time in prison. Where'd you do time at? What prisons? What state?
Connecticut, all in Connecticut, state time. I did my first time going to prison. I did 2.5. I went to Hartford Correctional, and then I went to MYI. It's underage gladiator school in Connecticut. It's under 18. It goes from 14 to 24, I think.
Gladiator school, man. A lot of them juvenile places are pretty violent, right?
Yeah, MYI. It was this was 96.
Do they get busy in Connecticut? That's what I want to know, man.
Yeah, they do, man. It's right in between Boston and New York City, so you get everybody. And Connecticut's not just woods and shit like a lot of people think, man. There's bad areas, there's projects like everywhere else,
Yeah, there's bad things, man. How about that Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting? Do you remember that?
Terrible, man. Yeah, I was I went to prison in Newtown, Connecticut. That's where Gardner Correctional Facility is. That's a level 4, and it was a gang block, and that's the same town where Sandy Hook.
Pretty sad, man, that all those little kids lost their lives, right? When I think about Connecticut, man, I think about that, and I think about that little kid that he had kid played for the Giants. Cruz was his favorite favorite football player, and I think that dude, the wide receiver over there, he actually went to that kid's funeral. But when I think about Connecticut, man, that's what I think about, sadly, bro.
Yeah, there was have you ever heard of the Cheshire Home invasion?
No, but maybe I'll check it out.
Yeah, there's 2 guys that were on parole, and they followed a lady in a minivan home, and they broke into her house. Where her and her husband were there with their 2 kids. They tied up the guy, brung him in the basement. They beat him with a bat. They did stuff to the kid and the mom, and they ended up lighting the house on fire. The father escaped, and the cops surrounded the house. And the guys busted out. They smashed through the cop cars, and they lit the house on fire. They lit the kids on fire, and they were live, man.
That's absolutely sick.
It changed the laws in Connecticut with parole. They stopped everyone's parole, everyone back to prison when this happened, because they were 2 parolees.
2 real dirt balls.
Yeah, and they got the death penalty. But since then, they changed the laws out here. So now they have life in prison.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's one thing I could say, right? Like, I don't like no one that victimizes kids, man. And I had talked about that on one of my videos. And some people got mad on families against mandatory minimums. And so I thought you were for criminal justice reform. I am. For people that deserve it. And I was in prison, and it's not no cop shit or nothing like that. But when you rape kids, you get out of jail, and you rape kids again, man, that's it, man. It's over. You kill kids.
You do anything wrong to a kid, You should be in prison for the rest of your life, man.
Absolutely horrible, man. But anyway, man, this is a prison content show that deals with, sending a positive message out to kids. But we want to talk a little bit more about prison. What's some of the wildest things you've seen in your prison system while you were in there?
A riot broke out when I was in Gardner. There was a lot of tension in the facility. There was in the day room, people working out, people doing their laundry, people cooking, and the couple of days there was a lot of tension in the air, man. You could feel it. People were walking around with their shoes on, and when you notice that, something's gonna happen. And two guys started attacking another guy, and then the cop tried to break it up, and a guy came up behind the cop and slammed him on the ground, and another guy attacked the other cop. So then everyone just started fighting. It was crazy melee, and it was nuts, man. People were getting splashed with oil, stabbed. It was crazy.
Prisoners were fighting other prisoners, not just prisoners against the cops.
Yeah, it was against everybody.
Wow, wild stuff, right? So, when I think about prison, I think about New York State prison, I think about federal prison, dangerous places. I got to keep it real with you. When I think about Connecticut, I think, not too dangerous over there. But maybe it is, right?
It really is. All the people that you were around in prison in New York, it's the same people that are around in Connecticut. Same thing, man. Just a different place,
I hear you, man. Just a different place. I mean, they got knives over there. They making knives in prison and all that type of stuff over there.
Yeah. Locks in the socks, all that shit. Knives, they dip them in shit, stab you. They'll light you on fire. They'll put glass in your food.
Light you on fire? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, man. People have done it.
Wow. Maybe it is a little rough. Maybe no one wants to go to prison. Not me. I don't want to go to prison nowhere. But
level 4 in Connecticut, man, it's pretty dangerous. Cheshire, Big Cheshire is a pretty bad place.
I've read some stuff about you before too. They, some gang allegations, and is that stuff true or no? Keep it real with the people, man.
Yeah, man. I used to be involved with a gang. I was in 20 Love. I was young. It was before I went to prison, and I loved it. Like I was accepted by them, and I was willing to do bad things, man.
That's what I want to talk about. How old were you?
15.
You were 15 years old, so you're a young kid, right? Really, you're a kid. But you allow yourself to be influenced by what? The gang leaders, older guys? You said, you loved it. You'd do anything they asked?
Yeah, well, they accepted me. You know what I mean? The other guys that were in school and shit like that, they were picking on me and jumping me all the time. And when I was around these guys, they accepted me. And when I would do wild shit, they liked it. And I liked doing it. So,
Did you necessarily like doing it, or did you like the attention that doing it got you?
Maybe both.
There's a lot of young kids, man, that, you see getting involved in gangs like where I'm from, man. There's a lot of Bloods, man, big gang presence here. Kids are getting killed every day. They just found another dude shot, dead in a crack house. I think they robbed him for his crack, killed him. But when you see this type of stuff, man, with these kids, sometimes you wonder, like, why did this kid join a gang at 14 or at 15? And I think a lot of it has to do with, single family homes. What about you? What do you think?
Well, I grew up without a father, man. My real father wasn't there. I used to make up stories on who he was and all that. And my stepfather was there, but he wasn't the best. I wasn't his kid. So I think not having a father around probably a big part of it.
I think so too, man. So who were your role models growing up?
People on the street, man. I grew up in a project, Dutton Heights it was called, and there was another project called the Hilltop. It was Union Street, and they were pretty bad places. And there was a lot of drugs. There was a lot of people selling drugs there. There was a lot of violence. First day I moved there was the SWAT team was running through the project, like, get on the ground, get on the ground. And I'm a little kid, like, what the hell? First day, man. And they're like, some guys up the street with a gun. Get in the house. And we're like, oh, shit. Welcome to the neighborhood.
Unbelievable, right? So I want to ask you this, right? Now that you can look at things in hindsight and keep it real, don't say what you think is the right answer. Now that you're older and you know you were in a gang back then, do you regret those decisions or no?
Now, yes.
Tell me why.
But but I take steps to change things and make it better. Like I volunteer now for my community. I volunteer my time to try to help feed the homeless. You know, I deliver food from this place to this place. Sometimes they have cleanup days where they clean up the town. And, you know, the railroad tracks where people throw their drug, you know, needles and all this shit that's in back of the railroad tracks. They have days where they have all these volunteers that help clean up the stuff that I used to destroy, man, you know? But, I mean, I wish I would have got a trade and maybe got a stay dedicated to a job, because I never had nothing stable in my life. I've been arrested 26 times. I was in and out of prison for years, you know?
I hear you. Crazy life to live, Bill, right?
Yeah, man.
Now you're out here, you're helping the community, and I know, you said, yeah, you regret it now. Do you regret it because, I mean, is there a part of you that's like, man, you know, I kind of don't regret it because of the experiences and, you know, things like that, or do you just completely regret those choices?
Well, I mean, obviously, you can't change nothing. You know, you can't change the past. The only thing I can do is make the future better. And that's what I've been through. That's what I'm trying to do is change hindsight on with other people so they don't have to go through the same things that I did, you know? Yeah, I don't want to see a kid with a 16-year-old kid with a 40-year sentence, you know, like you had.
Yeah. I'm glad that you said that. I don't want to see any kids like that either. That's why I do a lot of stuff that I do. And, you know, that's the message that we push on Blood on the Razor Wire TV, that, hey, look, learn from us. Learn from the bad choices that we made so that you don't have to go down the road of misery. Because I call it a road of misery, bro. You know, and I used to tell people a lot of times that, you know, the time that I was doing, this is my long walk to freedom. This is it. This was a long walk to freedom. I fought for my life for 18 years until they finally released me. And I don't want to see people suffer, because you're suffering. When you go to prison, I don't care about all that tough guy stuff. All that stuff's out the window. You're suffering. Do you feel like you suffered when you were in prison?
Yeah, sitting there late night, man. Everyone's sleeping and you're sitting up and you're like, what is my life? Like, this is my life? And there's no peace in there. None. You will not get peace. Everything you desire in there, you will not get it. You get out and you have dreams that you're still there. Or when you're in there, you have dreams that you're on the street. And you wake up like, what the fuck?
Let me ask you this. You ever go to bed hungry at night?
Yeah.
While you were in prison?
Yeah. I wasn't the type to go around asking people for soups and shit. I stayed quiet, stayed to myself. I didn't ask people. I sat there, I smelled the shit, and I was hungry, man. And it wasn't fun.
What do you think one of the worst things about prison are?
If something happens to your family while you're gone, that's a big thing. With me, that's what I feared the most, is losing someone in my family when I was gone. Yeah. And all the time you can't get back, because the world doesn't stop when you go. They keep it moving, and your ass just sitting there like, poor me. I used to be the guy, poor me. I don't deserve to be here, but I deserve to be there, and I probably deserve to be there still.
No, I mean, I want kids that are watching the video, or, you know, guys that are going down the wrong road, or chicks that are going down the wrong road, to think about that. The small things, I always tell people it's the small things. Going to bed hungry at night, missing your family, you know, seeing commercials on TV about a concert or something that happened while I was in there. We could see the state fair when I was in Kentucky. It's right there on the property.
Smells, everything.
Used to kill me inside. I just wanted to be free. You ever have days while you were in prison where you're just like, man, I just feel like giving up?
Like, yeah, just let's stockpile all the sleeping pills and just stop, stop all this. I've been at that point, but I don't know. People are like, how do you do it? How do you make it through going to prison? You have no choice. You don't have a choice. So my mother always said, right, there's going to be a point where you do something in life and I can't save you. And that point came, and she couldn't do anything for me.
That was it. Your mom, your dad, your lawyer, they can't walk down and knock on the door and say, hey, let little Billy out, right?
Yeah, let him out. I'll take him from here. Don't work like that no more.
Mom and dad aren't the boss no more. Now it's the judge.
Yeah.
How do the guards treat you over there in that Connecticut prison system? I'm just curious, man.
Not good, bro. A white boy, they single you out, man. Especially being white. Like there was a lot of times I was the only white boy in the whole block. It's like, and then you're really getting singled out.
By the cops?
By the cops, by the inmates.
You ever had your shit stolen in there? Keep it real.
Of course. And you could do two things, man. You could stay quiet and be like, and wait till you find out who took it, or you could go out in the day room. Who took my shit? You know that doesn't end well either. When you're putting everyone on blast.
Yeah. Or you could just walk up and you could just pick someone and punch them in the face, right?
Yeah. Man, I was getting in so many fights when I was in Little Cheshire. It was incredible, bro. Like, I wouldn't even leave the cell without fighting. I'd be like, all right, here we go again. You know?
Yeah. How long you been free?
11 years.
You've been free 11 years, right? Sometimes the world is a struggle, right, Bill?
Yeah, man.
Sometimes
situations come every day. You could land back there like this if you walk the wrong path. You could hang out with the wrong people. Something could be in the car. You get pulled over.
But you've made a conscious decision to live a law-abiding life, right?
Yeah, man.
I'm going somewhere here with this, right? And you're living the struggle, right? You struggle. I mean, I know that you've struggled a few times, right?
Of course.
But what do? You keep pushing. You don't give up, right?
No.
If you give up, what happens when you give up?
You don't go anywhere, man.
So like I was saying, Bill, there's always, life is a struggle. Nothing comes easy. But you got to stay on the right road. You got to keep pushing, right? I mean, I know you got God in your life now and you're living free. I mean, how does it feel just to be free, to say, man, to not have to worry, to look over your shoulder and say, I'm all right today. I'm not going back to prison.
Feels great. I never thought there would be a time I wouldn't be on probation. I wouldn't have some drug case pending over my head or DUI pending or something. There was always something pending.
Who wants to live that life? The vicious cycle of in and out of jail, in and out of jail. I see guys like, sometimes I used to say guys get life on the installment plan. 2 years here, 3 years there, a couple months in the county jail, get out, come home, go in for a year, get out, burglarize someone's house, you're back in for 3 years. That's life on the installment plan, or you just get life.
That's what I had, man.
And now you got a life of freedom. So look, I know we had talked in the beginning about your show. I want people to check you out. If they like your content, I want them to hit that subscribe button, man. Help you grow your channel a little bit. I know you work hard. You interview a lot of mob guys, ex-mob guys, things like that, right?
Yeah. Well, I'll interview pretty much anyone. But my main focus is ex-Mafia guys because I'm half Italian. And, my Italian heritage.
It's all good.
Not that the Mafia is Italian heritage, but you know what I mean. It just interests me, and a lot of people are interested in the mob stuff. So
people are interested in what? Like the whole organized crime thing?
I mean, these guys, a lot of guys that I have interviewed, they changed their life. They were involved with all this craziness. They either killed people, they were in prison for a long time, and now they write books and they live the right life now. They live a straight and narrow life. They're not committing crimes anymore.
So even they come to the realization that freedom, it's priceless. Nothing's worth losing your freedom over.
A lot of them tell on each other, to get that freedom.
Crazy. So anyway, man, before I close the show, I want to know what your message would be to your younger self, to kids that are on the wrong road, that are getting in gangs at 14 or 15 years old. What would you say to them, bro?
I would say go get a trait if you want to be a videographer or you want to make videos, you want to do anything. You want to do music, you want to be a painter, you want to anything. You can pick anything in the world besides committing crimes and doing dumb shit or using drugs. It gets you nowhere.
I appreciate you coming on the show, sharing your experiences, sharing your story. I'm going to close the show. Let people know Blood on the Razor Wire TV. If you haven't hit the subscribe button, hit it. Go back, watch some of our videos. Again, check out my boy Bill STAXXX. He's in the struggle. If you like his content, which I hope that you do, hit that subscribe button. Support another brother that's out of prison, doing the right thing with his life. Until tomorrow, Blood on the Razor Wire TV, we're out.